Recently, Netmarble just announced that the global version of 17 Grand Cross is now going to get the same updates at the exact same time as JP and KR. And does this save Grand Cross? No, but it is a step in the right direction. Allow me to explain. I know Grand Cross this past few months on this, towards the later half of this year has been in a terrible position to the point that even Nagato has quit the game, literally uploading his final video. I know people are going to see that and say, yeah, the game is dying, but can Netmarble turn this around? While I don't think this update and the global sync changes or necessarily fixes the game, it is a good step in the right direction to make the, to make the game more better, right? And I will say, if you've been watching my past few Grand Cross videos, I said some things coming in November, and this is only one of the things coming. I mean, not that I know, but, there's rumors behind the scenes a little bit that there's stuff coming. And seeing that they're planning to do this in November for, the half Annie, it's a good step in the right direction. And I will say, these past few updates for Grand Cross have been actually pretty good. We got Percival, the Fortnite's character, kicking off Fortnite a little bit in the game for the second time. That brought a new minigame, which is very cool. Esterosa, I think, had a lot of love put into him. Probably one of the better characters released this year with cool animations, new ultimate animation a little bit with the little stylized change. And I think with this slime collaboration, while I do realize that Ella Ronmaru is not the best character in terms of him buffing up, I do think this collaboration was a little bit special in comparison to his other ones. We got LR Ronmaru, we got Milan, the first summonable LR character. All the LR resources are free. Shion, as much as it hurts me to say, but she is a PvE character, and she's going to make the game probably a little more easier in PvE, which I guess I'll take a little bit. At least it weren't just two broken PvP characters that you have to summon for. At least if you enjoy PvE side of the game, you can get play the game, enjoy the game a little bit. Buff towards the old characters. It was a good update, and that's free for free now. Alright, so if you don't know, they're going to be changing the JP and KR schedule to where it's going to be synced up with global, meaning everyone on Grand Cross is going to get the updates on Tuesday and the patch shows on Monday, which is something that I think has ruined the fun for global. One reason why is, for one, content creation. It's not fun covering content that's been covered by 50 other YouTubers in the last 5 days of a new character, new update, new animation, wherever it may be, and that's not really fun to make content on. So for me, I'm definitely going to enjoy the game a lot more now, but also as a player, I know a lot of people say, oh, this only is relevant towards YouTubers, but also as a player. Now let me run through a hypothetical situation that us on global never get to experience because, well, it's already spoiled on JP. So yeah, hypothetically speaking right now, they announce a new live stream. We see the new character. It's the new ultimate, the one Escanor. He's super fun in game. You really want to play with him. But then you realize on global, you have to wait 5 days for him to come out. Sure, it's not the longest away, but some of that hype is going to die down a little bit. However, if you didn't have to wait and you got the update literally the next day, some of the hype is going to be back. But just imagine everyone around the world is waiting to log in at the exact same time. Everyone gets in. You're rushing to summon the new character because you want to get in for the first time and see how he looks in game. Test out all the different teams. And you're summoning and randomly you see a dark sky with a sun. You have no idea what that means. It must be bugged, and you get the new ultimate, the one Escon animation, and you're freaking out thinking, wow, what the hell is this? Now, I know people on global can still get that experience, but yeah, even something as little as a little sub animation that gets shown off in JP, because we have to wait 5 days, you're likely probably going to hear about it because everyone's made videos on it, everyone's covered it, and I think that kind of ruins the surprise a little bit for global players. We don't get to experience that. Sure, it's still hyped that you got the animation because you're going to get the new character, but that experience of logging in and just seeing something new for the first time that you're not expecting is lost on global players, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to coming back towards the game. Not even towards the characters, but experiencing the story first. One of my biggest criticism towards Ragnarok, and I guess even the OC storyline, years ago now, was if you don't know, when Ragnarok came out, the gap between JP and global was 1 month. Imagine waiting 1 month to see the new storyline and new story chapter in Grand Cross. That was terrible. And for me personally, I don't want to get spoiled, and I will get spoiled if I don't play through the story mode first. So I like to play it on JP, but because I do that, I don't see the translations. I don't know what the story says. Granted, I can wait until it comes towards global and, reread through it. But once again, you lose that bit of excitement thinking what the hell is going on. But like I've been saying, it's not only about, the characters, it's also just the updates itself. I think right now, everyone's so fixated on the fact that, yeah, people on global are going to lose that foresight, which the foresight weren't real. I don't know people keep bringing it up because when the summon a character, it don't take 1 day. It takes 1 minute to know the character is broken. You can look at Millions Kit and say, yeah, this character is broken. She is a must summon. And the whole argument of seeing what's next to decide when to summon or not, you got to realize That's not true, because I don't think there's ever been a case this year where a new broken character comes out and the next character comes out afterwards is a must summon. There's a few occasions a little bit, but still sometimes not even warranted. So let me just talk about it. So at the end of every month, we get a live stream. We get to showcase a new character, and these live streams typically showcase the new broken character. We got one yesterday, which is Milan and obviously Shion. Milan is the new broken character. So if you wanted to summon for this character or this banner, and you want to wait to see what the next banner was, well, we know what the next banner is because it leaks. It's Sigurd. You're not going to summon Sigurd over Milan. And if you go back all the way to the start of the year, right? Meliodas. You know, did you need the foresight to know the summon for King? No. Going down towards the collaboration, did you need the foresight to know about Queen Diane? No. Going down towards the foresight about Arthur, which, by the way, we knew Arthur was coming from basically November of last year, because they were 100% doing Arthur as the global Annie. Like, we all called it. We weren't shocked about it. Boom. Arthur was a must summon. Gelder, however, was the only one, I think, this year next to Boulder, and I'll talk about that in a second, where, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't have summoned for Arthur, but even then, that's still not true, because Arthur hasn't returned this year. Who's returned 4 times this year? Gelder. Why? Because Arthur's UR character. It was not worth summoning Gelder over someone like Arthur, for example, because he is a UR character. You shouldn't have skipped him. But then again, you know, if you are like a demon main, you can still summon for Gelder. You probably still have enough gems for a little bit, because you probably skipped everything from like Demon Medio, so you probably have enough gems anyway. Go for release. Do you need a foresight to know there's something for Mark II Valenti? No. April, we knew was a collaboration. We didn't know what it was, but did you need a foresight to know there's something for Valenti? No. You don't need a foresight to know there's something for Skadi either. We knew May was going to be the new character, which I think he got leaked. Like, Escanor in this situation got leaked like a week prior, so you already knew it was Escanor. Like, did you need the foresight to know something for Percival? No. Did you need the foresight to know something for Merlin? No, because in fact, if you summon for Subnac, you probably wanted Merlin. And then once again, going down towards 4, did you need the foresight to know there's something for Boulder? Boulder, to be fair, was actually pretty good, and it's the only rare occasion, once again, where, like, okay, you know what, the part 2 towards the UR celebration was actually pretty good, and you might want them, but did you need him? No, because once again, I mean, Boulder hasn't returned to Shazzy. No, I don't think he has, but, you know, 4 is not going to return probably until New Year's either. You know, going down again, Demiurge, did you need a foresight to know something for Camilla? No. Did you need a foresight to know something for Percival? No. Esterosa, you didn't need foresight. Like, none of this foresight helps. I know what people keep saying that. I don't think there was ever a time in the last, like, 3 years of thinking, hey, thank God I skipped the new end of month banner. So yeah, I think I kind of debunked that foresight theory, because there was never a time where you have to summon for the mid-month. The mid-months are always the worst banners. You should never summon for mid-months. If you're free to play or casual, or to the point where you have to worry about spending your diamonds or what to summon on, you know, you always know at the end of the month, something big has come in, and we never have the foresight on global to decide to summon for the next end of month banner towards the next one. Nothing's changed, you know, and what you can do is always wait towards the patch notes on Monday. You still know what the next character is, either one by leaks, and also by the patch notes on Monday morning. I've been playing 76 Hour Adventure, that's kind of what I've been doing. We got a Merlin recently, and she was kind of mid, or she was good, but like, you know, the previous banner, Deriori, was still out at the time, and she was better. So most people could have went back and summoned for Deriori. It's not that much of a big deal. So this guy's saying, dang, I always looked at JP and KR updates to decide what I do when a global rolls around. Did you? You know, was you really debating on summoning for Skadi when you knew that anniversary was coming around? And even if Escalon was out, was you really debating on like what to summon because you thought the part 2 was going to be better? You never do that. This guy made a good point a little bit as well. Agreed, not a huge difference, but I like seeing some content creators test out the new characters, so I'm ready to decide on day 1. You can still do that. Like, Millen dropped today. Wow, she's broken. You know, you can, you know the summon for her, right? And then this person says, well, the problem is we are gadget gamers. A lot are prone to spending before we think when given opportunity. That weak grace forced us to have time to think about it. Harder to not pull when the new shiny banner is there. What shiny banner? Like, generally, what shiny banner? Like, Skadi's not a shiny banner. Percival's not a shiny banner. Boulder's not a shiny banner. The shiny banner is the end of month banners. They're the ones you summon for. Because when Boulder's out, when, you know, Merlin's out, when Percival's out, the festival was still out at the time. Like, I don't get it. So much for the future peaking JP offered. Yeah, because no one Camilla comes out after Demiurge. Really made Demiurge not a must summon. Dang, now we got to be extra careful when we summon/skip since our window of future is gone. No, it isn't. You summon every month. At the end of every month, you summon for the new character because that's the new end of month. And you never had foresight to see what the next end of month banner was going to be. it's ridiculous. In Grand Cross, the updates were 5 to 4 days apart, so they're not really a big deal in my opinion for people who wanted it to be synced and for people who don't want it to be synced. You don't have enough heads up to save up, and you don't have to wait that long for them to come out. Which, once again, that is true. You don't have enough time to save up. Like, when Escanor drops, you only have, what, 5 days in global to save up some gems. You should have been saving the month prior. And in the part where you said you don't have to wait too long for them to come out was the actual most annoying part, because why do we have to wait? You know, just give us the update day one. Let us have fun with the new characters. And I think, if anything, it takes away from the new characters we have right now. Like, Esterosa just come out. He's actually a very cool character, but I'm bored of him now because I want to use Millen. And that happens every single time a new character comes out. The new shiny character comes out, Millen or Escanor. And the previous banner character on global, I lose interest in the new characters because the new ones are out on JP and I want to use them. So that's what I mean. It takes the enjoyment away. Okay, so this person has a really good take, which is kind of what I was saying throughout the video, where, you know, everyone summons, you should only summon on the end of month banners, the big banners, the ones that don't return. And he does say, like, the free play should only be skipping most monthly banners and should only summon the characters that don't return quickly or at all, like UR festivals or collaborations. People hate this, but they should be able to use self-control and wait for a showcase to see if a character at 1/6 is offering what their account needs. But players like the information already available for them so they can summon the second the banner is available, but also want the foresight to know they won't regret it. Once again, you will never regret summoning for the UR or collaboration because the second banner comes out after those banners are always worse. Like I say, there's some special cases this year, like Gelder and Boulder, but you will never regret skipping for Boulder. You will never regret skipping, you know, Arthur for Gelder, because guess what? They don't return. Gelder, I've gotten a few times because he returned a few times on some good banners as well. For spenders and major celebrations, it's a great thing. The time gap is an unnecessary process that reduces hype and personal revenue. And yeah, basically, it's kind of what everyone's saying a little bit. It's kind of funny that this person got 3 upvotes when all the ones that got really good upvotes were the ones that are just waffling. Being delayed a week is nice, so we know what the power Duna has. Once again, most of the time they showcase the character on the live stream. You know they're really, really good. And it doesn't take much time. You can know on day 1 if the character is broken. You can even test it yourself now by going into PvP and finding a Millen, right? Sometimes units release during mid-guild wars. So, I mean, very like niche situation. Not like only top, what, like 0.1% or whether it may be actually plays in Guild Wars. So with it being delayed, we get a great feeling if we have already summoned immediately and tested teams before we waste gems in a rush for a bad unit like Red Chandler. I mean, once again, would you... Red Chandler was 240 gems. Okay, last one to cover is this here. How is this a win? You effectively lose gems until the next update. Also, knowing which banners come into JP was always useful to decide to not summon. No. Once again, he's assuming we're catching up towards JP. No, JP is catching up or going behind to us, basically. So their update schedule is normally 2 weeks. In order for them to catch up, they're going to wait 2 weeks plus like 4 days so they get their updates so they don't lose days and we don't lose days and we'll all update at the exact same time. But even, God forbid, we lost 50 gems. Who cares, man? Like, this guy does say a good point. Days are the same as always. Even if the banner drops some days before, you lose nothing onto the side. If you want to summon, you need 20 minutes to read a passive or watch a YouTube video. The game is not that hard. No, they are not. Assume any banner drops on JP in 2 weeks. Until now, we have 3 weeks to save for gems, which isn't true, by the way. You always have 2 weeks between each banner to save for, because you likely summoned on global for the new banner character. Now we only have 2 weeks to save. Further, JP was always an outlook. If a new character sucked on JP, then you could spend your gems on the current global banner and ignore the upcoming. This, once again, completely wrong. Once again, I kind of debunked this. Going back towards Escanor. You know, if Escanor was out and you won the siege, the next banner was bad to summon for Escanor, you're an idiot because you know the new UR festival is going to be better than every mid-month banner anyway. Or if you're maybe waiting to summon for Percival to see what the next end of month banner was, and it's Chandler. But if you're waiting to see if the mid-month is better than the end of month, the end of month is always going to be better. I don't get the logic. So guys, I think I'm going to wrap up the video. I probably rambled on a bit too much now, but once again, the foresight's not real. You never, whenever a new UR festival drops or collaboration, everyone summons on global. Like right now, when Millen drops, most people are going to summon for her and not decide to wait and see what this character is. Even though we already have leaks about what it is, it's Sigurd, or most likely going to be Sigurd. And guess what? He won't be better than Millen. You're not going to regret it. There's never a time where you regret summoning for the new collab or the UR festival. And you got to remember, with the sync, it means, one, we're now going to get global patch notes on release, hopefully at the exact same time as JP and KR, which is so much better because then we don't have to actually worry about what this is translated to, what does this mean. We're going to have it in pure English, which can be so much better to understand what a character actually does, which will be somewhat helpful. And I guess if they want to, they might even start doing English streams Are they going to do it? I'm a bit doubtful about it, but I think if there's the time to do it, now would be the time, because if you think about it, maybe unless there was like a 6-month gap, right? There was no point doing streams. Like, why would you stream the JP and Slime Showcase when it's already out in JP? There's no reason to do it. When now with the sync, there is a reason to do it, and I'll be very much looking forward to it if they actually do it, because it does feel like MidMonth was putting more effort coming towards November, like I've been saying at the start of the video and like these fast videos now. It's just the way I see it behind the scenes. So guys, thank you for watching, and yeah.